So in this session, we will talk about non-uniform acceleration. So the name describes, when it says non-uniform acceleration, it describes that when a body is in constant motion or when the body is moving, so what happens is the acceleration or the velocity of the body changes continuously. So in such cases, we call it as a non-uniform acceleration. That is when the velocity of the body, usually acceleration is nothing but it is defined by the velocity or rate of change of velocity. Here the velocity changes frequently with respect to time. It is called non-uniform acceleration. So this is what non-uniform acceleration means. For example, let us imagine that this is a plane and a vehicle is traveling from this place, is traveling towards the east, and it has a velocity of 10 meter per second for the first 5 seconds. T is equal to for the first 5 seconds. Okay, it has 10 meter per second. So after 5 seconds, your car would apply brake, which means at t is equal to 6 seconds, what happens to your velocity equals 0. Your velocity becomes 0. Similarly, in the next 10 more seconds, what happens is your velocity increases. So V increases to 20 meter per second in the next 10 seconds. Again, what happens? It puts a brake so that the velocity becomes 0 and at your time t is equal to the next second. This is the 5th, 6th, and for the next 10 means 4 more, right? So in the 11th second, what happens? Your velocity comes back to 0. V is equal to 0. So here you can see that the velocity is changing with respect to time. You can see the velocity is not constantly increasing. It is sometimes increasing, it decreases, again it increases, again it decreases. So you can see that the velocity is not stable. In such a case, we call it as a non-uniform acceleration. And this is what non-uniform acceleration means. Or this is one of the cases. Or it could be here, the body is moving towards the east direction. So what happens when a body is moving towards an east direction? You know that the direction is positive. So now let us imagine it is the same car that is moving in the negative acceleration. It is moving towards west. It is the same car or the same vehicle that is moving towards west. So what happens? At first it is moving from here. It will go and it will travel for 10 seconds with a velocity of 10 meter per second. And the next 10 seconds, your body will travel in the opposite direction with the same velocity of 10 meter per second. So now there is change in direction. This is moving towards east and again this is moving towards west. So what happens since there is change in direction, and we know that acceleration is actually a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Since it is a vector quantity, we know that what happens is, since there is change in direction and here there is change in speed, and it is not increasing steadily nor is it decreasing steadily. So this such a kind of a phenomenon or such a kind of a motion is called as a non-uniform acceleration. So every acceleration A will have a same unit, that is meter per second square. So the acceleration has the SI unit as meter per second square. So this is what your uniform or non-uniform acceleration means.